Hello and welcome to another session of the My Solo 401k Financial My Community Daily Webinar Series. Thank you so much for joining. We're about to get started. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you have questions that you're ready to discuss, please start to chat those over, and we'll go through these sequentially. We do want to use some time to talk about to lay some foundational content. But before we do that, let's start out by going through just some of the housekeeping. All right, 1 second, please. Great. So the presentation is being provided for educational purposes only and should not be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice, nor as a solicitation. When making an investment decision, please consult with your tax attorney and financial professional. So let's just start out with some of the top use cases for a solo 401k. So as always, you can join us in our community, mysolo401k.net/my community. It's always free to join. All are welcome. We have forums where folks are posting questions 24/7. We have these daily live webinars. We go live 2 times per day. We go live at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then again at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So it's a lot of great ways to learn, to share the knowledge, to come and ask your questions. And then, of course, you can participate 24/7 on our forums, where you can see that we got customers and just community members posting 24/7 on the forums. So that's another great way to ask questions, to see what other people are asking. So with that stated, let's start to go through some of the top solo 401k benefits and features. So number 1 would be fast account setup and funding. So we are very fast in establishing the plan. And the way that we do that, and the way that that is done, is by preparing the solo 401k documents. So we do that within the same business day. And then we're neutral as far as where the accounts are opened up at. We've got customers that we've helped open up accounts at hundreds of different banks, many different brokerages, cryptocurrency exchanges, investment platforms, could be credit unions, local banks, national banks. Top brokerages are going to be Fidelity, Schwab. So Fidelity is the #1 brokerage in terms of where our customers who want to open a brokerage account choose to open up the account. And Fidelity recently migrated to an online process. So now it's much more streamlined. It's a very short application. It's much faster to open up the accounts. Their customers are opening up accounts in as fast as 1 business day. Now, the reason that customers open up accounts will vary, but one of the top reasons is that solo 401k plans have the highest contribution limits for any defined contribution plan available to self-employed individuals. So if you are behind on your retirement savings, and you're eligible to set up a solo 401k because you're self-employed with no non-owner, non-spouse W-2 employees working for any business owned by you or a spouse, if any, then a solo 401k is going to be a very powerful way to catch up on your retirement savings account balances. And with our plan, you can make pre-tax contributions, which has the benefit of reducing your taxable income now, or you can make Roth and mega backdoor Roth contributions, where the funds will have the potential for tax-free growth. Because if you qualify to take a qualified Roth distribution, meaning you've had the account for at least 5 years and you're at least 59 and a half years of age, all the gains that accrue in that account are going to be totally tax-free. And you can do a mixture of both, pre-tax and Roth, as well as mega backdoor Roth. Another great benefit of our plan is its low cost structure. So for example, we charge a flat fee of $650, which includes the $525 establishment fee, plus the first $125 annual fee. And then starting 12 months later, so for example, January of next year, our $125 annual fee will be due. That'll cover the second year of ongoing compliance support. And it's totally independent of the support that you need. It's totally independent of the value of your account. In other words, there's no asset under management fees. Moreover, our plan was the first plan to make the self-employed individual or business eligible to claim solo 401k tax credits. So we were the first major provider to roll it out. We worked with the IRS and other industry stakeholders for almost a year before we rolled it out. And the setting up our plan will make the self-employed business eligible to claim $1,500 in solo 401k tax credits. That's $500 per year for the first 3 years. And that's a tax credit, not a tax deduction. So it's a dollar for dollar reduction in the individual's tax liability. So that $1,500 in solo 401k tax credits will more than cover the cost to set up and maintain our plan for the first 7 years. So if someone signs up now, they're going to be able to start claiming the credit when they file their 2025 taxes next year. And then again for 2 more years, as long as they maintain that plan. Moreover, we again are totally neutral as far as where the accounts are set up. So we got many customers, for example, who are opening up brokerage accounts like Fidelity and Schwab, where they don't charge anything to set it up. There's no maintenance fee. They have free online trading. They even offer a free checkbook associated with those brokerage accounts. Ease of use. So with that Fidelity online setup process, not only is it online, but Fidelity has also built integrations with multiple payroll providers such as Gusto, ADP, Paychex, Rippling, as well as others. And then through those payroll providers, our customers are able to automate contributions as well as 401k loan payments. For example, if they decided to take a solo 401k loan, which takes me to the next benefit, which is investing in what you want and what you know. So with our plan, it allows for whatever investments are allowed under the rules. So it's not only going to be typical brokerage type investments like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, ETFs, etc., as well as true alternative investments. So that's going to include, for example, real estate, crypto, private placement, private stock, notes, etc. Another great benefit is you have access to emergency funds, tax and penalty free, and that's because of the solo 401k loan feature. So with our plan, the solo 401k owner can borrow up to 50% of the balance, not to exceed $50,000, and that's not going to be considered a taxable distribution. It's not going to be subject to penalties, as long as it's number one documented as a loan, and we handle the loan documentation requirement as part of our service for no additional charge, and then paid back according to those loan terms. So the loan is going to need to be paid back in equal payments, either monthly or quarterly. It's up to the individual. Equal payments of principal and interest. It's going to be prime plus 1% or a CD rate plus 2%, with those payments spread over a 5-year term. And then those funds can be used for any purpose whatsoever. It's a very fast process because there's no underwriting, there's no approval, there's no credit check. We don't charge any loan fees. Comprehensive support. So as mentioned, we charge a flat $125 annual fee, and that's for all the ongoing solo 401k compliance support. Now, what that means is going to depend on what's going on with the individual's plan. So, for example, everybody's going to need plan updates and amendments, right? 401ks are political footballs, right? The rules change, the underlying documents need to be updated. And we do that proactively. And we don't charge an extra fee to do a major update or a minor update. We're going to keep the plan documents up to date proactively for our customers. But then other things are going to depend on what's going on with the plan. So if somebody wants to roll over more money, say from a former employer plan or a non-Roth IRA, they certainly are allowed to do so. And we provide tremendous support where we've got experience with all the, many hundreds of different places where people are rolling money over from. And as you might imagine, each of those institutions or retirement account providers will often have their own unique process. So we can leverage our experience to make the process easy for new clients or existing clients going forward. In addition, Form 5500DZ, 1099R, preparation and electronic filing. So those would apply, for example, if the value goes above $250,000, then you have an annual informational filing requirement, and that's the Form 5500DZ. 1099R, that would apply, for example, if you make a mega backdoor Roth contribution, because that's going to be a two-step process where you first deposit voluntary after-tax solo 401k funds, and then you move those funds either to a Roth solo 401k or a Roth IRA. So the first step, the contribution, that's not reportable, but the second step, the move from the after-tax to the Roth IRA or the Roth solo 401k, that is reportable on a Form 1099R. We handle that as an optional free service for our customers. In other words, no additional charge. Talked about solo 401k loan document preparation. And then all this support is provided by a phone, by email. We have these daily, twice per day webinars, office hour style webinars. And then of course our community, we've got over 30,000 members. We're the industry's first AI chatbot. You can access it for free at solo401k.ai. It's a great way to find resources quickly, to find quick answers to quick questions, a library of educational videos and webinars. So there's a wealth of resources, again, as a way to learn and to share the knowledge. So let's jump to the questions. We appreciate you taking the time to join. We want to get to your good questions. We appreciate the engagement, the opportunity to discuss. So our first question here is, I have a small business and work as a W-2 employee for a different company. I'm currently maxing out my 401k with my current employer. My consulting business nets around $18,000, and my annual W-2 wages for my daytime job are about $85,000. Could I use my W-2 wages for my day job to fund the after-tax bucket up to the maximum allowed for my solo 401k, even though my net business profit is $18,000? No, you cannot. So you need to have the earned self-employment compensation to justify the contribution to the 401k. So the way that I think about it is that a 401k is for somebody who works, and a solo 401k is for a self-employed individual. But you still need to have that earned self-employment income to justify those contributions, right? You can't save more than you earn. So you wouldn't be able to make contributions in excess of your self-employment compensation. And so for somebody whose business, for example, is taxed as a sole proprietor, which is totally fine in terms of eligibility, right? You don't need to have an LLC or an entity to qualify. All you need to have is earned self-employment income with no non-owner, non-spouse employees working for any business owned by that person or spouse, if any. So if their business is taxed as a sole proprietorship, that means that the income is going to be reported on Schedule C of their tax return, of their 1040. So self-employment compensation in that case is going to be equal to their net income. So that's line 31 of Schedule C, less 1/2 of the self-employment tax. And we have a calculator on our website that'll run that calculation, or we'll help our customers every single day with those types of questions. So that would be self-employment compensation, line 31 of Schedule C, less 1/2 of self-employment tax. And then the individual could contribute 100% of that amount, not to exceed the overall limit, for example, $69,000 for 2024, as a voluntary after-tax solo 401k contribution. It would need to be deposited into a separate voluntary after-tax solo 401k account, for example, at Fidelity, at Schwab, at a bank, etc., and then moved from that after-tax account either to a Roth IRA or to a Roth solo 401k. So you have options. Thank you for the good question. If I opened a standard solo 401k with Schwab before December 31st, 2024, and I want to restate with you guys now so I can self-direct, would I still be able to apply the $1,500 credit starting in 2024? No, because the plan would have had to have been established by the end of 2024. But you would still be eligible for the credit. It would start to be able to be claimed when the 2025 tax return is filed. So it's certainly possible to qualify for the credit by upgrading an existing solo 401k plan, but the eligibility for the credit wouldn't start until the plan was restated, the year in which the plan was restated, which would be at the earliest 2025. Good question. Thank you so much. It is my understanding that you are not a custodian through the third-party plan. So who is the custodian under your plan? Would the custodian be wherever we open the account? Exactly. Whoever the custodian of the cash is, or those broker type investments, it's going to be Schwab or Fidelity, just to use a few examples. But at the same time, we're very hands-on in helping customers open up accounts. For example, an EIN number would need to be obtained for the 401k. We obtain that for the 401k as part of the onboarding process. If you want to have the accounts at Schwab, Schwab has a paper process, so we would prepare the paperwork that Schwab requires. But we, of course, would never have access to those accounts. Only the customer does. Can the mega backdoor Roth be set to automatically convert to Roth, or it has to be done manually? So there's certainly nothing wrong with the automatic process. It would just come down to the account provider. Let's say it's at your local bank where you've got two accounts. One is after tax, the other is Roth. And the bank is able to set up an automatic transfer where as soon as those monies clear into the after tax account, they automatically just move to the Roth. Does your company provide a copy of the plan docs once they're completed? Most definitely. We provide it within the same business day when somebody signs up. If Schedule C under net profit is $15,000, what is the max after-tax contribution that I can make for 2025? Well, it'll come down to first doing that pre-calculation of taking that line 31 of Schedule C, which is your net business income, less 1/2 of the self-employment tax. So that might be $1,000 or $1,500. We'd have to run the numbers, but let's assume it was $1,000. That means that your self-employment compensation is $14,000. So that is the amount that can be contributed as a voluntary after-tax contribution. Good questions. Well, we don't communicate with any type of information on our website. We use a secure portal to share the documents with very highly reputable, secure portal provider. So industry leading, I should say. And again, we're not providing our customers accounts. We don't have access to their investments, to their money, right? When customers are rolling money over, it's not coming through us. It's going directly to the customer. So there's a number of levels of security. Number one, as I mentioned, is the secure portal to communicate, but also the fact that the nature of the information that we're sharing is not account specific information, it's not investments, it's not funds, etc. Yes. So if the plan is restated to our plan in 2025, then the individual would be able to claim the credits starting with the 2025 tax return filed next year. Now, restating means that the plan continues. So let's say the plan was established January 1st, 2023, and it's restated January 15th, 2025, right? So the plan continues, but it wouldn't have the features, the plan features, the notices, the documents wouldn't have been provided until 2025. So that's the earliest that the business will be able to claim the credit. Thank you so much for the good questions. Please continue to participate. You can participate 24/7 on our forums, mysolo401k.net/my community. You can always find our webinar schedule at mysolo401k.net/webinar. We're very compatible with crypto in the sense that we have many customers. I mean, our plan documents absolutely allow for it. We have many customers that choose to invest in crypto. We're neutral as far as the exchanges. So it really runs the gamut. I mean, whether it's Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, just to name a few off the top of my head, where customers have opened up accounts and are making investments. All right. Well, until next time, thank you so much, everyone. Take care.